For me, light is the queen in architecture. I mean, without it has an essential role, and without light, you don't have architecture. And what I think also about architecture and light playing with each other, or might be dancing with each other, light also creates the connection between our bodies and architecture or the built spaces around us. Some architects ask us already in the stage of competition to advise them and to help them to organize windows and openings in the building in relation to the directions of the sun, as well thinking about the functions. So that is the ideal situation, but sure, sometimes there is also the opposite, that we are kind of the fire brigade if something wrong did happen and we have to heal it, or quite often it's that in the stage of the design phase, we are involved and work together. But for me, it's important really to see light as something integral in architecture and not as an addition that you put in later. I quite often think architects who have a good feeling for light, they ask to have an expert in lighting and a dialogue partner as well. Even if they already know a lot about it, the lighting designer is someone who also cares for aesthetics, for poetic aspects of architecture. And in this whole group of disciplines, we are kind of a dialogue partner for the architect that is fun and cares for this side, which clients sometimes maybe forget as well. So even if architects have a knowledge about it, they involve us, or the more knowledge they have, the more they involve us. I think a little bit of competence in especially daylight is lost since we have electrical light, which is static and give this feeling, oh, natural light is not that important, we can do it artificially. I am an industrial designer. I was trained or studied industrial design. So you could think I look at the object, but it's the first thing for me always is the light. So to create a certain atmosphere in a building, I have to have a knowledge which is really technical. It's mainly the light distribution curve that describes this poetic effect I would like to create. The light distribution curve tells you, is it a wide angle of light or a narrow angle? Is it brilliant light or is it diffuse light? So these are the aspects I specify light fixtures. And it means I look at the technical part. Then a second or third step is sure to look, does this fit in the design language of a certain interior architecture or of a city when it's outside? That's also important, but main point is the light that we get. During my career, I built up kind of a library of light situations in my head or in my brain. And it's, for me, it's a gift to have this. And it's still expanding and expanding. And we have a practical problem that either engineers, lighting designers, as well as the electricians still have to learn a lot, and the development is so fast that you always run a little bit behind technology that is possible, and we have to reduce what we have to condense it to the things we really need. That's quite often we use more than we need. And another point is the LED itself. I really don't agree with the fact that we have one tool now, and that is quite often communicated. The LED solves every problem we have, and we have this one tool now. I, for example, would love to keep on having the incandescent bulb. I would love to keep on having neon signs, which is a very old technique now, more than 100 years ago. and poetic and beautiful, and you can't ever do this with an LED.